Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Civil War mod. So, since last time I gone ahead and end turn, and it wasn't actually the rebels in Ohio that struck first. Instead, the garrison of Sioux Falls goes ahead and attacks Hood as he's preparing to march on to their position. Which is not that great. I'd hoped to actually be taking on the enemy. This means the Hood is gonna have to fight 2 battles, and most of his army is cavalry. We're gonna have to make sure that we have enough troops to continue on the attack. It's going to be difficult given that the enemy is gonna have 3 artillery pieces. I do have a lot of cavalry though to swing in on off the flanks. They have cavalry to cover that as well. It's going to be interesting to see this one. It's not in my favor. Could go to hell as they've got a lot of artillery. But with that said, let's go straight into it, shall we? It's a very nice open field, perfect for cavalry. However, there is also no cover for my volunteer infantry, which could easily be utterly destroyed here in the open ground. However, as I note, all of the troops are actually marked as hidden, which is rather interesting. I've placed my dragoons, or the Vendette cavalry, on the left, and the partisans on the right, and we're gonna swing in a pincer maneuver against the enemy, while the volunteers march forward. So right now everyone's hidden. The enemy's artillery is looks like they're preparing to unlimber, which obviously isn't that great. I'm gonna have my volunteers start moving forwards, and the cavalry is bringing into action. Those cannons cannot be allowed to fire upon us. Unusual for my playstyle, I am actually going to order them to attack certain units, because I'm going to be more worried about the cavalry. Oh, they're facing the... What are they firing at? They're firing straight in towards the center. That's a lot of Union artillery going in. Lost tons of men out of the 16th Regiment. My cavalry is moving in though. Oh, they got more coming in over there. Oh, I forgot to... Apparently I forgot to draw one. Stop that one. Partisans charge in. Second partisan go around. Shit, this unit is utterly cut in pieces. It looks like it's divided into companies. Holy shit. Strike their bloody guns. Want you to turn in on the flanks. The lines are holding though, but just barely. And the cavalry, or the partisans, are doing their job attacking the enemy cannons. Jesus Christ. The unit's so big that even though the cavalry is fighting in among it, parts of the cannon crew can still fire straight into the side of it. Let's see if we can get around here and get at these cannons over here, and these cannons which are unlimbering right now. Okay, with that, you know what? Go straight for the New York Rangers. You know what, infantry? You are getting absolutely destroyed. I want you to retreat. And we'll let the mass cavalry charge continue in on this mess. Tell the artillery to refocus their targets. The partisans have already lost about 200 out of the 400 cavalry troopers. I'm not entirely sure how well it will go actually dealing with the New York Rangers, but they're actually wavering. They're shaken by all the cavalry charge, and we might actually be able to do this and get rid of the cannons at the same time. What on earth? Hold your fire, damn you. My artillery is stupid as hell. Cut down those Rangers. Don't let the Germans escape. Make sure that you take them all prisoner. The artillery needs to focus. What's this? Bloody hell. Now you know what? Aim at the one in the back. Cavalry charge went straight in on this one. You know what? We'll have to call on the general to charge in. The thing is, the volunteer unit actually held off on their own. The general just made sure that these guys not coming back. Let's see how it goes over here at the cavalry. Right, you're gonna have to hold here. What are these guys doing? Charging? Are they trying to break the line? It's over for them. They've got no artillery support, and they've got no... I wonder if the cannons are aiming for this one, and it's getting so close that they can't actually fire at it. So it's moving so close. Hold the line, man. Hold the line. I must say it's a lot easier to go and do close-ups in this one compared to Thrones of Britannia. The battles are over in... Well, you know what? The battle has only lasted for about 7 minutes, which is what our usual Thrones of Britannia match would have gone for. Blow that bastard to bits. What we could do is I could send the cavalry in now to sweep away these two that are about to break. And this one's about to break as well. They're wavering. I'll order these two to go for this one to go over here, and this one to go over here. You know what? Yeah, hold the artillery fire. It's too late for the artillery now. With the enemy now being struck by my cavalry, I'll order the infantry to advance. Oh, there's another ranger unit. I did not notice they had two. Could be difficult for my cavalry there. Partisan rangers on their own. Yeah, they're actually wavering. Oh, they did rout even. Halt! And prepare to fire on the enemy. Move away. We will create a half circle though and fire at them. Oh! Both these units actually managed to survive. The artillery should be loaded at this point, so we'll tell them to open fire. It was the partisan rangers that fell apart. However, these guys have already suffered so much that they will break. Right, I have one for each. One cavalry unit for each enemy unit. And if the enemy decides to come our way, the infantry will advance just to catch the stragglers. And there we have it. Probably the second battle will be the Ohio one, and since this one has only lasted for about 9 minutes, I think we can fit 2 battles into this one. The last video I made turned out rather short, didn't it? With that said, however, let's jump on to the results of this battle. Right, I actually lost almost half the army, almost 1,000 men, which is not great. And the good thing though is only 242 of the enemy remains. Who lost the most? A lot of the infantry. Maybe I shouldn't have advanced the infantry, just held their position. There's a few infantry units that lost half their unit at least. Obviously the cavalry are the ones that kill the most, except for this volunteer unit. Actually killed 200, so that's good. And even Hood actually killed a few men in this battle. He got 5 there. But since this is during their turn, as you can see, we'll see if they have any more attacks to be done against us. But otherwise, we'll catch back up when it's my turn again. Government building in Detroit. So it didn't actually happen as I thought, or well, close to. Oh, now we have a rebellion in Pennsylvania as well. But what's the rebellious force? Which one is the rebellion force? There are actually quite a few troops in Pennsylvania now. Could be this one. No, I think this one I've seen before. Could be this one. Winfield, Pennsylvania. Ordnance rifle cannons. Massachusetts. Could that be the rebel force? Could very well be the rebel force over there. So Lee has to deal with the rebel force. Not very nice. The rebels in Ohio did not reach, which was I was able to reinforce this region with another 5 units of volunteers, so it should be a lot easier for us to hold it. And then this region allows me now to recruit volunteers, so we should be able to hold that. For some reason the British are building kind of an army over there. Not entirely sure what that's all about. Stonewall is about to lay siege. They refuse to surrender. I don't think this is the second battle we're gonna do. We're gonna do a smaller one. Okay, so the ironclads, we got something got destroyed. Unfortunately for me, I think the AI actually listened to me when I said that we were gonna retreat their troops and build up more around St. Louis, because that's exactly what they've done. So this forward force did not continue on its march towards Chicago. Instead it returned back, and just as I said here, the troops, the 2 cavalry units, this is in last episode, but the 2 cavalry units that held up here has retreated, they've moved in to actually secure these guys, which is not great at all. However, we will be continuing with this army, which I think could be the second part of this. Let's demand surrender. They refuse. There's only 700 men, but then again, I have only 1,000, and they do have some of the cannons left. I don't know how many they have left though. But I think that will be a pretty good battle to take that. So we at least feel as though we're getting somewhere. We're gonna have to strike here. I don't know how many men they have left there. There's a lot of stuff that needs building up. And we're gonna definitely, I think possibly after, you know what, once I take this region, once I take back this region, and once I take this region, we should see about getting a truce. Because right now, I can see that I've kind of overextended myself here. I didn't think the Union... It was so easy early on that I was kind of... sort of... I was not attacking as hard as I maybe should have. But clearly now they've got quite a lot of troops in this region. Let's not drag this on by doing a lot of maneuvers and crap on the campaign map and drag this video into eternity. Let's go ahead and end these guys and take over Iowa and Minnesota. The battle unfortunately crashed for me, and when I loaded the save I realized I hadn't loaded, or I haven't saved before or after the previous battle that we had down on the road here. So I had to redo that, and when I moved forward I just, for the hell of it, asked them to surrender the town, and I guess the numbers played in my favor this time around, and they actually gave up the town and retreated north. Otherwise this would have been kind of a small nice video to do, or battle to do, in a sort of a series as they would follow each other. Looks as though this region not very happy, even as I exempt them from tax. So... Oh, foreign occupation 30. Was this the capital? Did they move the capital over here? No, I'm pretty sure they had the capital over here. Why do I get 30 here? Resistance to occupation. 2 for religion, 2 for industrialization, 30 for occupation. Huh. That seems rather odd. But, yeah, anyways. I mean, there's only 10,000 people living here. How many troops can they muster against Hood? Anyways, we need to find a second battle to do then. And, well, there's this one then, I think. Which, might be a good one to do. And it's 1,000 versus 1,300. Pennsylvania bucktails were quite hard to deal with. They do have a lot of cavalry this time around, 200 with this lightning brigade, but I think we can do it. So without further ado, let's jump into this. But this time around, I'll make sure to save beforehand. We're fighting over a mist-covered hill. And yeah, pretty straightforward. Cannons in the middle. I've put the volunteers on the right side and put Stonewall's brigade on the left, and without further ado, let's go ahead and start. And looks like they've actually put their troops more towards the cannons. I like how this cannon right here somehow managed to hit the bloody tree. Alright, first and foremost, we need to get up out of this sort of out of the slope to face the enemy. Looks like this cavalry unit is about to flank. The other one is going straight at us. So we'll just tilt this one a little bit. General units are actually pretty strong, so he could possibly charge that one down. And artillery will switch to fire canister, and I mean the enemy is going straight for us here. So the Stonewall Brigade will wheel up and fire straight at them. Question is, the angle might not be great for canister. But if that unit decides to go straight for us, it's going to be ripped to shreds by the canister. However, here comes the Lightning Brigade, and if they get charged, the volunteers clearly not going to be able to stand. Come on, fire, 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 fire! Ooh, we were saved by the fact that they decided to ride straight ahead of the unit, and I don't know what the Lightning Brigade is doing. Maybe they took a lightning to the head, because they lost tons of men before they even come close to the volunteers. And now, not only the mist, but gun smoke, gunpowder, all over the place. Volunteers not doing hot though. And surprised that the Stonewall Brigade hasn't broken down this unit yet, but it's in rather a strange position. Canister from the howitzer don't seem to be doing that well. And I've seen this in other battles as well. The canister, they still fire the canister in kind of a howitzer arc. So if they sort of are too close, they'll actually fire over. And especially when we're not really on flat ground. So a lot of the canister, even though what you really need to do is actually tell them to aim at the ground at somewhere, because if you just tell them to aim at the unit, the canister shot's gonna land all over the place and not where you want them. Look closely here. They seem to be hitting somewhere here in the middle with a canister. But yeah, you can see, the canister shots are going way high. But we've broken the bigger unit, Pennsylvania Bucktails, on their own, dealing with these 3 volunteers, which number a little over 500 men, 600 men or so, against 56 of them, and they still managed to persist there. The artillery switched to round shot and breaks the little volunteer unit, which is moving forward. I should have had cavalry to make sure that we got rid of everyone. Ooh. Boom. The tired, concerned under artillery attack. And they're doing volleys with the Stonewall Brigade. The Bucktails are gone, but 56th is back. Maybe that's more important for the artillery to focus on. Everyone are within range, so I don't actually need to move these guys. And seeing the elite regiment run through them probably means these guys are going to run pretty soon as well. I would not stand here when there's so much artillery coming close, plus the musket fire being at this close range as well. But once they break, then obviously the Stonewall Brigade will be able to move up and shoot down at the 56th. I don't know how many times I have to fight these bastards. I don't think I have time to chase them down, but I can shoot them down a little. So we'll fire with the howitzer on this unit for as long as possible, and hopefully cut them to shreds. Boom! Pretty good. We only took 9 though. And then one guy got shot. There we go. This unit is the one we need to cut down to make sure that we don't have to fight these again. But with that said, let's jump back to the campaign map and see what the actual result was of this battle. It was rather small skirmish, I'd say. The results of the battle puts us at 250 lost, with 600 lost for the enemy, leaving 330 of theirs. I noticed that I did not team kill that many in this battle. I still somehow managed to team kill 2 of my own men, while the enemy team killed quite a few, or at least the way I counted. There might be, like, I don't know what other reasons there is for the discrepancy in between the enemies killed and the enemies lost. Highest goes to the howitzer and then the volunteer. The Stonewall Brigade didn't do that well, but they're getting there. And the bastards persist. So it's the cavalry unit and probably the 56th. Yeah, the 56th is still there. The 1st Lightning Brigade is still there. Go ahead and replenish this. And there we have it. Not entirely sure what we do for next video, but I think we're gonna try to rush this, get rid of that. With that gone, I think we'll have a try to get a temporary truce with the United States, which I think they will agree to. And also, someone asked in one of the recent videos the diplomatic status with all the countries. So I just want to show that everyone is kind of unhappy with me, actually. Or indifferent, with Haiti being unfriendly and Great Britain being unfriendly. Most likely because we actually hold part of Upper Canada. So it might be an idea to give that back to them. However, I don't think that that Great Britain have that great presence of troops. And also, in this version of the mod, they actually are unmodded, their troops. So they have straight up old troops, like 1700 troops with the tricorns and so forth. So I mean, even if any other nation would declare war on me, it would be just a cakewalk, because their units could not withstand or could not stand up to my troops. I mean, this one looks like it's been edited, but it's only the picture. It's only in the add-on which I used in the first part of this series, where they could actually do some damage to me. However, with that said, I'm gonna say, as I always say, that hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!